It was the clearest case of possession that I had ever seen, ever witnessed. It was back during the time when the demographic among AIDS patients was shifting from the gay community, the homosexual community, into the intravenous drug users. And I was working with a young man who was confined to a wheelchair, heading into the latter stages of wasting syndrome. He was telling me his story. He said, you know, I think I can remember the exact moment I got this. I was sitting there with a woman. We were sharing our works, our heroin works. And I was getting ready to put that needle in my arm. And I looked at her. She had all these sores on her face. She was really scrawny. And I thought, I could really get sick. But I really wanted this drug. And I stuck the needle in my arm. That's when I got it. That was a moment of possession. And he's not unique. All of us are possessed. Weren't you aware of that? We are all possessed. And if we are spiritual creatures, we can use that possession to our advantage. He was there in a moment of possession. He didn't recognize it for his own good. What I'm talking about is a principle from the Hezekiah tradition of Christianity, the Desert Fathers and Mothers. And they referred to it as prepossession. You know, in the gospel we heard basically a reworking of the Decalogue, the Ten Commandments. All this list of sins and things that we can fall into, and Jesus is so concerned about it that if your right hand causes you to cut it off, rip out your eye, and all this stuff. He's speaking in hyperbole. That's one part of Scripture we really don't want to take literally. He's speaking in hyperbole. But we have all experienced sin. And the Hezekiah monks and nuns said, out of that experience comes prepossession. And in prepossession, whenever we start moving in our lives towards a self-destructive or an act that might be destructive to others of sin, we become aware of it. We can feel it. And just like that drug addict, we're at a point where we can choose to either go with the possession. He was possessed by a need for narcotics. You can either go with the possession or choose to go a different way. Now, this is something I offer to people when I talk with them about marital issues. Especially if one person's being very bombastic and kind of trying to overwhelm the other. I'll say, okay, here's the first step. And I've shared this with you before, but this is good advice, and I really ought to copyright it. Here's the first step. What did they say? You know, grab the emotion. You can feel it. There's that prepossession. You feel it going up. Grab that emotion, hold it down, go right here into your head. What did that person say? Replay it word for word. What did they really say? What's the subcontext? And what are they reaching for? How are they possessing you in that moment? And the final two steps are crucial. Then answer these questions. Do I want to react? If I react, the needle goes in. Death happens. Sin happens. I get caught up in that pattern of destructive behavior. Or do I want to act? And if I choose to act, the possession is tamped down within me because Christ rises within me and fills me with the grace to know I can experience life in new bountiful and blessed ways. I think when he put the needle in his arm, I think that's probably when he got infected. And it's really sad that he didn't have the ability at that moment to hold off the possession. Because he recognized not only is this drug doing bad things to me, but what's mixed up in it, the HIV virus, will probably be the end of me. And it was. God did not create us to choose death. God created us to choose life. And Christ awaits within us to rise and lead us there.